This video I'm going to show you how to import a new report and how to use reports in QuickBooks Advanced Reporting. Let's start with this email here. Generally when I create a report for a client, I'll attach the QVR file, which is the report template, to an email and send it to them. Often what happens is they'll receive the email and then double click here and then shoot back an email saying this doesn't work, there's nothing to open it with. So in order to import the report, the first step we need to do is to save it to your hard drive somewhere. In this case, I'm just going to go and save it to my desktop, sample com report. And now let's go into Advanced Reporting. When you open Advanced Reporting, generally you're going to see this welcome screen, but I'm going to go to View All Starter Reports. And you get the report list. The report list can also be accessed if you're already in Advanced Reporting by clicking the report list button. I'm going to click import and we're going to bring in sample com report. Click open. And now we have to wait a second while the report gets imported. So if we go back to the report list, we're going to see that report sitting in there. So click on it and click open, and you'll see we have a commission report here. So when I create reports, I have a sort of general way of laying them out. So what I'll do is at the top, I'll put all of the objects that are used to control the data that shows up in the report, and then underneath it, I'll generally put a table or graphs or something that presents the data. So in this case, I'm using a pivot table to show the calculations used for sales rep commission for a client that calculates their sales commissions based upon payments received during a given time frame. So at the top here, as I said, this is how we're going to control what data shows up. And there are generally four kinds of objects. I'm going to skip current selections for a second, but often there will be calendar objects like these two. This is how we're going to tell the report what dates to use for calculating commission. These two objects, sales rep and customer, those are selection boxes. So we can use these to filter the data that shows up down here. This is an input box. In this box, we can change what the sales commission rate is that's used for the report. So we can change it from 6% to 8%, and you may have noticed the commission column recalculated. The final type of object here is this current selections box, and this basically tells us what filters are being used on the data. So for the first filter, let's go ahead and add in a filter for date. So let's do October 31st as the end date, and then let's select a beginning date of, let's say, June 1st. Okay, you can see now that the data down here has changed. We have a lot fewer entries, and in the current selections box, it's now telling us that we put this filter on this particular field. In this case, it's transaction links, transaction date. So we can go ahead and further filter this using our sales rep and customer boxes here. So if you can see, I just click on Emily here. The report now only shows payments made within these dates, and then where the sales rep was Emily Wood. I can clear this filter by clicking on the eraser here. I can also clear filters by using the little eraser icon here in the current selections box. In the same way, I could select for Emily Wood, I can select one or many customers. So let's say I want to select Dunning's Pool, all of the various jobs underneath Dunning's Pool. So I can click and then I can drag down here. And now we're only going to see jobs underneath Dunning's Pool. Filters work together, so I can also then see if I only wanted to limit it to Emily again. So now this is Emily's commissions just for the Dunning's Pool jobs. Let's say I want to sort of do a free-form selection. I want this job, but maybe I want some others. So I can hold down the Control key and start selecting other jobs. even if they're not contiguous on the list. Let me clear this off again. So you'll notice that you also have a search button here. If we click on this, we're going to get a box where we can start entering terms. So one thing we could do is type Dunning, and it's going to find everything that has a word that starts with Dunning. I hit enter, and it's going to create that filter for me. But we can get even more complex with the search. Let's say we only want customers that start with D. You can type D. And then if I put a star here, that means that it's only looking for customers where the customer name starts with a D. We can also search for terms that are in the middle. We could type *5*, and that's going to give us anything that has a 5 in it anywhere within. If we take off that last star, it's only going to give us things that end with a 5. On the pivot table itself, there are some controls that are shown up here at the top right. You can see we can print, we can send it to Excel, we can copy the data, and this box allows us to maximize it so that it might be easier to navigate. There are also other options. If you right click on the table and go to export, you're going to see you have a few options here for exporting as comma delimited, tab delimited, the XML.